It's been scrappy at times. The force buys seem to be working out for both teams here. We've had some huge clutches, some emotional moments, but now it's up to Gambit to compose themselves after that defeat and work out how they win round number 25, knowing still if they win this round, it's match point, championship point, and it's a full reset for Immortals as well. The Brazilians very aware of that fact. They're hardly established right now. No AWP to speak of. A couple of kits, they do have decent utility, and rifles across the board. Let's see what Gambit has got after taking the pause.
Play again to put utility down toward Henny, but this time they look like they do want to get a little more aggressive. No AWP still. None at all, in fact. Dren. Without Boiler, nade, bounces, didn't quite reach towards Steel. Very passive inside of B as well. Looks like I believe they've got the boost, new box boost, indeed for Henny. Damage done by the nade as Doge has already tucked his way into the corner. Six seconds, patience from Gambit. They're forced just on time factor alone, KNG to go back over to help the two players at B, because how lack of information, how passive they are, the lack of information is concerning to them. This is the right time to strike on it. Only two players left here. Doesn't matter if there's two or not, because they get two kills on themselves. Good crossfire set. Steel goes hunting back though, Doja. The kill, but the bomb goes down, and now it's him inside of the pit that has to work quickly with Hobbit to try and clear the site and get the bomb planted. Good shot for Hobbit. Plants toward default. KNG's hot on their heels. He's already in position. Doja's got to hold the angle. Hobbit nearly gets found. No complete kill for KNG as he stops firing a little bit too soon. That leaves Doja alive. He finds one more, 21. He's got to play for Hobbit. He's got to be Hobbit's best friend in the round if they want any chance. And the closer they get, the more threatening Hobbit becomes. Doja has no escape from where he is, so they're sitting back as far as they like. Smokes go down, he'll take advantage. It's his only chance out because KNG taps. Hobbit sprays, Doja down. Oh, Hobbit sprays but doesn't get it. He's all over it. He's got it that time. KNG's out of it. Henny's got to play it. Another heroic play for Hobbit potentially. As Henny taps once more, but this will be the last tap. The next will have to be the hold, and Hobbit wraps around. On the block, on the championship point, and it's all by Hobbit.
Zeus can't believe it. What a clutch from Hobbit once again. It was so close, desperately holding on to it. 4-on-2 situation. And it's another full reset, man. They get $1,400 per player at championship point. Hobbit finishes off with the Glock. That's just sick. They know what that means. Have to keep it together. The punch to the death with the fist bump straight after. The team that call themselves the family need to find some mental fortitude right now. What can they do? The Mag 7, CZ 5-7, it's not looking good. They need to find 5 rounds in a row. The last tactical time I hear for Immortals. They had the dig deep before, but they had even more to work with. This is scary. You saw the celebration from Zeus there, Matt. He knows what that round meant. Just that one round alone to break the economy and find the match point.
And if better time than ever, 1 million viewers to watch. Gambit potentially take their first major. 26 kills for Hobbit. And he has had incredible impact. It's on to a shotgun for bolts and pistols for the Brazilians. To try and survive. Crowd certainly has rallied behind Gambit rather than Immortals, who knocked out their beloved VP. It starts off Mo through the wall. They've been spraying it numerous times, and this time Bolts gets found in the hallway. 4 kills to go. The shotgun down as well, and Steel's tempted to try and grab it, but doesn't know exactly what waits in the stairwell. Toward middle. Doja inside a Boiler. Steel is tempted. He needs to do something. They have to on the CT side. They've got to catch someone off and get a kill early. They won't have a chance to. Have re-grabbed the shotgun. This could cost Doja. Jumps up, window spot. Oh. just barely gets off before Steel can respond, and they're gonna bail, they're gonna run, and thankfully so, because Mo wraps around top mid, he walks directly into KNG. Shotgun does get a kill, but not by the man who bought it. Back over to B instead. Lucas has presumed this to be true based on the kill alone in apartments. He'll get there, but smoked off. Henny's alone, at least for now. And what's the call from Lucas? The call is the gap in the smoke. Good shot. Don't get back in. Better shot from Henny. Still on the pistol, but they follow up to take him down. And a ball planted in a 2 versus 2. Gambit just have to hold off. They won't waste much time grouping as Steel has the kit. KNG is there. They picked up a Galil to work with. 5-7 to lead the charge. It's too far away for the shotgun to be helpful. Take it back because he thinks otherwise. They'll go aggressive. No one peeking, so he'll take every inch he can get to make this an instant kill on the shotgun. Crossfire set, he's found! Steel trades it, Steel goes for more, it's done! Gambit have done it!
After getting battered on cobblestone, it looked like Gambit were not going to arrive in this grand final. But they showed us strength on the second map. And the third, that delivered. That's what a grand final should play out. Clutches all over the place, force buys working out. And they do it in 3 maps. What an epic third map to finish it off as well. Commiserations to the Brazilians. They've looked fantastic throughout their first ever major. They've made it to the grand final in 3 maps as well. It wasn't quite enough. But here they come.
An unlikely final, but worthy of every round. What a performance from all 10 players. Everyone had their moments. Both of them in their first final. Zeus, it's his 3rd, and he finally achieves it, the dream true. Incredible all the way, and hands well deserved, but it's the red star that rises. The second major of 2017, and the champions are Gambit. And what a way to do it, dropping only 2 maps. Beating Astralis, defending champions who knocked out SK, who were the favorites. And again, Adren rised up in the playoffs. You said he was slow in the start of this game. He was. First map, he was nowhere to be seen. But then he immediately shows up on this map. Hobbit and him, I think, combined had over 50 kills.
It's Hobbit all the way in that third map as well. They couldn't get going in the second half at all, but he found the clutches, and there they are. They've done it.
Well, they're on stage with Scoots, waiting for the moment, waiting for the trophy. He's standing by.
All right, here they are, Gambit Esports. I'm going to start with you, Adren. Hell of a match. It comes down to Inferno. It kind of comes down to you 2 guys closing down Banana in the start of it. Maybe the match of his life. How are you feeling?
No words. Sorry. I can't talk anymore. Sorry.
That's all right.
Guys, I just want to say that just believe your dream, follow your dream, and just work a lot. Thank you, guys. Thank you a lot.
I have one more question. One more very, very, very important question for you. You tweeted, "I will not give up till I win a mother beep in major." You just did that. Now what are you going to do?
I just say, Olaf Meister, I love you. And second, God help me, and I won major. Woo!
There you have it. Gentlemen, take your trophy. Take it.
There we have it then. The PGL Major Krakow comes to an end with the confetti raining down on Gambit Esports, the champions of this particular major. The first Ukrainian, the first Russian, and the first Kazakhstan players to win a major in CSGO history. Absolutely incredible scenes in the grand final. And didn't they do it the hard way? After that first map, you had no idea that they would have that capacity in them to come back, Moses.
That first map with how well they played moving forward. I mean, Hobbit, Adren, these guys were god tier on this map. This was incredible stuff from all of them. And yeah, that's a true champion performance, because they were actually, even on Inferno, they looked down and out. And it's kind of interesting that Inferno was actually, what, 16-10, Train was 16-11, but it feels like Inferno was much, much closer. The amount of clutch rounds they had to fight through, the amount of like really bad situations they were in, and just time after time, Hobbit just bailed them out repeatedly.
Hobbit with his clutches, Zeus with the clutches, they really needed to bring everything they've got into this game to be able to close it out. Despite the result, as Jason pointed out, being 16-10, this game felt a lot more close. When you look at how the economy game went, how Gambit constantly with those force buys, half buys in the second half, we really were wondering, why don't you just eco and like have a normal buy? You have a strong T side, have a good in-game leader, you have good players, you know. Why are you potentially letting Immortals come back into this game? And it was the Hobbit clutch that really like got them that one round win that they were force buying for, and that kind of broke Immortals' economy.
Yeah, and then on top of that, some god tier play from both Dozier, and I have to say that clutch, the 1v2, was just absolute genius from Zeus towards the end. That got them to that edge of the major, which, you know, you kind of look at it afterwards and you think, actually, that's so smart to have that ability to do that in a major final right at the end of the match.
Yeah, it's brilliant stuff. This is his third attempt. It's so well earned. I mean, that's all the experience that he's had, and being able to pull this team together. But really, part of it is it's so fitting for Gambit that, you know, what marked them being a dangerous team on the scale of Tier 1 teams was last year Hobbit's emergence as a really strong player. And what's gotten them the trophy here at the end of the day at the major is, once again, Hobbit. I mean, you can't underplay the performance this guy had. Tactically, though, they did such a good job on their CT side. Like, their banana control, Hobbit and Adren together, just two stellar games. I think that's where Immortals loses it. You know, if you go back and watch that VOD, it took them 11 rounds to really get in the mood to challenge Banana after the first two gun rounds, maybe.
Yeah, to do it in a proper way. They did try it in a slow default style early on, and they were just getting punished for it because Gambit did have the economy like we were talking about. They had the utility, they had the AWP, and we're just doing a great job on the CT side. I think Immortals are definitely going to regret not being more aggressive, despite not winning pistol, right? It's hard to go into a first gun round with something explosive and you're already 3-0 down. You know, if you lose that, then you're most likely 5-0 down. You know, your opponents have a strong economy, they have all the momentum, but you need to look at the big picture, right? You need to look at what worked for you in that game against Virtus Pro, what fits your players in terms of play style, and I think it's definitely going to be regret from the Immortals side.
Yeah, I mean, let's just wrap up on them, because they've still had an amazing tournament. It reached a major final, but it must be awfully disappointing for them to return to Brazil without the trophy.
Definitely, especially because they've seen obviously firsthand what it's like when their countrymen bring it home. I think the big worry for Immortals right now is you have to say very happy they obviously picked up KNG. They look like a very dangerous team with him, but you know, you hope this isn't just a one-off event, like one legendary run to the grand finals in its tournament of upsets. Because I mean, you look at a team like SK that they know. I mean, not even making it to the semifinals. You look at Astralis, look at VP. These teams have all won championships and they've struggled to get back to it. Astralis trying to string two together. So you just want, if you're an Immortals player, to make sure, like Hobbit said after the thing, they have to keep working hard and make sure that window of opportunity to make another run like this stays open as long as possible.
Okay, we've got Adren joining us now from backstage somewhere. I don't know where he is right now, or whether he's even able to speak to us. Adren, congratulations, you are a major champion. I don't understand what it means to you, but perhaps you can gather some words for us and what it means to you.
I don't have any words. I still don't believe that we won.
Maybe you have to have a sleep and wake up tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
What does this mean for the country of Kazakhstan as well? I know there's three of you in the team, and you don't always get the press and the highlights. No one really talks about Kazakhstan CS, do they? So what does it mean to you and the country and the community?
It means a lot. It means we are going to the next level of the esports in Kazakhstan and the whole CIS region. So I don't know. This is a big trophy for us, especially for whole of my team. So this is incredible. I don't have words, sorry. My English is so bad right now.
No, your English is absolutely fine, Adren, please. when you spoke to me on the very first day, before you played the first games, we had a chat and you said, we're playing so bad. Our practice was awful. We haven't won any matches. You were a mess. You were like, I don't know how we're going to get out of the groups. Can you believe what you've just been through?
No, I can't believe it, because before the game, before the major starts, we've been definitely worst team ever. That we lost to every single team that we're playing on practice. No matter it's tier 1, tier 2 or tier 20, we just lost every match. So I don't know how it happened. It's a magic, I don't know.
It's definitely magic, that's for sure.
Yeah, I was wondering, I mean, we can obviously tell how much it means to you right now. You're out of breath just after winning the trophy, but what's it like leaving that first map after just getting ran over, you know, not having a good individual game? What's the conversation like in the team? Is it just, guys, we got to pick this up, we got to do something better, or are you a little bit hard on yourself individually?
Everything was just, we talked about, like, it was the first map, and no matter what happened on the first map, this was their pick. We got our strong map train, so we just have to wake up and keep rolling like it was before. Just forget about first map and just do what we have to do. This is all conversation. Just, guys, wake up. It's a major final. Right now, you should win it. That's all.
I got a question. How difficult was it for you guys in the second half of Inferno, right? It was obvious you were force buying a lot to try and break their economy. There were a lot of close rounds, but it turned into a lot of weird buys where you had Tech 9s and armor, and then the next round you didn't have enough for AKs and grenades, so you went into another tech round. Like, what was like the mood like for you guys? Were you calm throughout it? Did you just know that you wanted to keep on doing economic damage? Or?
We just knew that we were going to do economic damage. We didn't expect that we don't have a lot of money for AK, so everything. It's a major final. You don't know what's happening actually.
Fair enough, until Hobbit steps in and then wins a big clutch.
Beast.
Yeah, speak about that, because we asked you the question, how long until Hobbit is one of the best players in the world, and you said he needed another year. Was this, he seems to have fast-tracked that program
maybe 3 or 4 months now.
Definitely speeded things up. All right, Dran, we're going to let you go. I know that you've got some celebrating to do with the team. I know they're heading back, picking all their bits and pieces up.
Congratulations,
again. Yeah, congrats on becoming a major champion, Adren.
Thank you.
Incredible story. For Adren, a man that's been around for a very long time, back right to the 1.6 days and coming all the way through into Counter-Strike Global Offensive. And at the age of 27, he becomes a major champion, alongside a man that we've been talking about all week as potentially getting over the hurdle. He's been to 2 finals with Na'Vi before, and suddenly Zeus takes them back to the final, and it's Gambit, a completely brand new set of players. First time any in-game leader's ever done it, and this time, third time is the charm.
You know, I think he was the most important player for this Gambit's run. When you look at how things developed, right? You look back at that semifinal against Astralis, the call that he made after the timeout, that really turned things around. Of course, you still need to get the kills, but like being aware of the situation. I think actually one of the big differences between Na'Vi, his runs in Na'Vi in the grand final and here, is that, you know, these players are more humbled perhaps, and they listen to him more, and he has more authority here. When you look at the grand finals Na'Vi played, it was a very, very close first map that they would lose, I think, even both times in overtime, and then they just fall flat on the second map. They get blown out of the server because the emotions run too high. There's you know, too much tilt going on perhaps, while here he's able to reset his players, he's able to lead the team properly, and that, you know, eventually brings back the confidence into the individuals, and then you see what happens on the deciding map. Just highlight clutches from both Hobbit, from Zeus himself, Mo playing well, and it, you know, crowns itself with a major title.
Let's take a look back at some of the highlights from that last map and enjoy them once more if you're a Gambit fan.
I mean, the amount of clutches that come out in this game, and it looked like, honest to God, Gambit was just going to run away with it. It was great recovery by Immortals finally at the end, like we said. Once they started properly pressuring Banana, once they went back to it and said, all right, it doesn't matter what we do anymore, we just have to be able to take control of Banana on the terror side. Eventually they found it out. Eventually they do it, scrap together enough rounds to give them a chance. And actually, if you go into the second half, I mean, Gambit looked like they didn't have a good game plan either. Gambit looked like they were a bit lost, and it is only that clutch of Hobbit that pulls them out of it, the 1-on-3 win. Because before that, they were getting nowhere. They weren't even getting bomb plants. Yanko just asked him about the repeated 4 buys. It's just, you're not making your way into the site. All you're having is Tech 9s repeatedly over and over. Just the money bonus building up. That's all they had going for them.
I think the third round was the most definitive one, where they had, you know, around 3,000, and that's where you either go full in, buy Tech 9s, buy all the utility, you maybe drop an AK or two, you exchange that, and you go for the reset, or you go for a full eco and then go into the buy round. They did neither. That, you know, made it very, very strange for them in the following couple of rounds. And listen, if Hoppy doesn't win that round, that gives Immortals even more momentum. We have to remember, it was like a 1v3, but it was a 2v4. You know, it was very strange. He got, I think, a 4K in that round. So luckily for them that happened. If that doesn't happen, you wonder whether Immortals run away with the game.
And we should touch on Mo for just a second, because we've talked a lot about, you know, Zeus, we've talked a lot about Hobbit and Adren, obviously, with good reason, but this guy, he was stellar as well. Outside of, you know, the good map he had earlier, on this map, that he was one of the players who had another good clutch here on Inferno inside that 8 bomb site. His opping has been incredible, and lucky for him in this map, he didn't really have to duel any of the oppers on the Immortal side. That was maybe one benefit they had, is that they kept the ops out of the hands of Henny and KNG as much as humanly possible. But Mo just had a little bit more freedom to him, and he quietly had a very good third map. 20 and 16 with 83 ADR. That's not a bad performance at all.
Fantastic stuff.
It's very important to note what Adren said, especially for these two teams who are not used to playing in Grand Finals in general, let alone a major Grand Final is. It's a major Grand Final. You have no idea what's happening, you know, so that's why we saw some sloppy play from Gambit in the second half as well, losing to a couple of force buys where they maybe should have closed the game out early, and that's probably why Immortals weren't more aggressive in the first half on the terrorist side.
There is this weird trend when you're on a stage like this and you're inexperienced about it, where the matches just seem to fly by. Like, no matter how close it is, all of a sudden you'll just look up and the match is over, and you don't really remember exactly what was happening, what the conversations were. So there's probably is an element of that, and I think it was great all through this game, being able to watch Zeus's reactions and Zeus's camera. I mean, he was struggling so much to make it through this match. It's unbelievable.
I mean, in that 15th, when they hit 15 as well, Janko, he had that moment where he initially cheered and he screamed, and then he laid back in his chair,
relief,
and he looked just absolutely broken. He went from like elation to broken in the space of a second.
Because that was a huge round for Gambit. They spent all their money into that round, and that was the clutch as well, winning it for them. And he knew that Immortals' money is low as well. That at 15-10 basically it's their round and their game to lose pretty much. So they did eventually manage to close it out with that 2v2 from him and Adren.